ציון, במשפט בצדקה. You brought the Alter Rebbe says, that every day you have to see the Torah like it's new. Torah and mitzvahs like they're new. And how you come to it is through this bonus and this pasuk itself that we're holding Sif Dalet. And through this, we're holding Sif Dalet. Through this bonus and Anechim Mitzav Chayim that the Eibush the Atzmos is Nimshach today. That today when you do mitzvahs, you mamshach Atzmos. So he asks the question, what's the negea the chalal that you should have the Yina B'cholim Yenach Kachadoshim? Secondly, he asked to have it should be the Amshacha of Atzmos in mitzvahs. Is that so important in order to make a Chadoshim? And even if you know you're going to get a Elam Haba, it's also enough to make a Chais in mitzvahs. Elam Haba is a great, Gan Eden is a great pleasure. Elam Haba is even a greater pleasure. So what's so negea that in order to have the Chais in mitzvahs Kachadoshim, you need to have Amshacha Atzmos. So he explained because the world Mitzad Atzmei is Mugder in Zman HaMokim, has a Gdorim. Even the Mamal, which is Mechai, the world is also Mugder. We say that Ein Kodesh Ka'avaya, which shows that the Eibishter is not Mugder, even the Mamal is not Mugder. Ein Kodesh Ka'avaya, the Kam Kaddish in Inu, and the Leis Kodesh Ka'avaya, the Eibishter, even though he's Mislabish, he comes according to the world, still he's Ein Nitfas Bazeh, he doesn't become part and parcel of the world where he comes into. He stays Muvdul. So why do we say that you need something higher than Mamali? So the answer that Lagabi the world, this is what Mamali shows. So really needs Eira Seviv to break the Agbola of the world. But he said the problem with Seviv is that if Seviv is going to be Nizgal, it's going to break the world. And it's not going to have Chayis in it. Chayis means in Pnimi. And should be Pnimis in the world, you need to have Chibur Seviv Mamali. In order to make Chibur Seviv Mamali, they have to have Anechi Mitzvah Chadin of Atzmos. That's what he said till now. Now we're holding Sif Dalet. Yesh Lahesiv, we could be Mesif. That more, that's what the Rebbe is Mesif, the Rebbe is saying, this that we say that the concept of B'chol Yimim Kachadoshim is through the fusion of Seva and Mamale. That's what we said till now. It's not only with Shein L'mayil Mazman Seva Yurgash B'adam B'Pnimius. It's not only because in order that something which is higher than time should be felt by a person in a pnimistic way, he needs to have Hamshachas Ha Seviv, in order that Sev should be Nimshach B'Pnimius, which means the Chibur of Sev and Mamale, Chibur HaFochim. Because Sev Mitzad Atzmei is two ways. Or it's not Negish in the world at all, or if it comes to the world, it breaks the Gedarim of Zman HaMokim. It should come to the world in a Pnimistic way, it should be Miskashid, it should be B'Pnimius, in Veld, that you need to have Atzmas. So you need to have, that's what you need to have, Yichot Sev and Mamale, causes the Ina B'chol Yiminach Kachadoshim. If you have Yichot Seif Mamale, then you have Yiminach Kachadoshim. That you should have in your eyes, should look like it's a new thing, is through Yichot Seif Mamale. So it's not only because you want to have that higher than time Seviv should come into time, so you need the fusion of Seif Mamale, and therefore you need, in order that should happen, you need Aneichim Mitzavcho. So he says also another reason why I need the Yichot Seif Mamale is also because Alagami Pnei Sheboin the Becholim Kachadoshim Atzmi Yeshnam Shnei Ha'afochim D'Lamayil Ma'azman Uzman. It's not only that in order to have in a pnimistic way Ayin Lamayil Mishinui should come to the person. You should have a chayis in it from Ayin Lamayil Mishinui. You have to have Ayin of Yichot Seif Mamale, and that for that to happen you need Atzmos. It's more than that. And the Ein of a Kol Yem Kachadoshim itself contains two opposites, higher than time and time. Why? Sharei Ha'in the Chadoshim, the concept of a new thing, and the Tayirkeit and the specialty of this Hu Ashinu. When you say something's new, means something changed. Something was new. Something is new. It wasn't before, now it happens. It's a change. Before there wasn't, thing didn't exist, and only now did it come to existence. This that we say not only the etzamin of a new thing, that which that's a in of shinu, but we say that it's constantly new. That means that this change is constantly. The change shinu is constantly. So if you're saying that that's a type of chadoshim, that constantly you should have a new thing, constantly you should have change, constantly the zman should be a yin of continuity, Yeah, such a word. Continuity. It should be constant. This that we say that the concept of B'chol Yom Kadoshim is through Yichot Sev Mamali Olei Rak. It's not only Shagil the Sev L'Mayim Mazman Nigshatz B'Pnimius. It's not only the factor of B'chol Yom Kadoshim is because Seviv should come. It comes B'Pnimius. L'Mayim Mazman higher than time comes B'Pnimius. So there's a Chayis B'Mitzvah B'Dvarim Kadoshim. Through this he could get a Chayis in it, like it's something new because it's L'Mayim Mazman. It's higher than time. And it came b'pnimius. The in of higher than time came b'pnimius. That's not the only beer why you need to have yichot sev mamali. Although you say to mizu, it's more than that. Shazman atzmi shemitzad eder mamali ubeif and the lamaylam izman b'shinui. Time itself, which that's eder mamali, is the neifin of lamaylam izman b'shinui gila seviv. Even time becomes higher than time. Time becomes time. Change becomes continuous. Change becomes constantly. This change of chidush becomes a constant thing. It's not only something l'maylam hazman comes into time. Zman itself is l'maylam hazman. Zman itself, mamali itself, not just that mizol ahead and l'maylam hazman is ahead and save in welt. Not that. That's not the kunz. That's not the kunz of this. That's not the kunz over here that you could say mamali. They should have the in welt as ahead and ahin from hecher from welt. It's Welt alleen wird Hecher from Welt. It's not Hecher from Welt, kommt rein in Welt. It's not higher than the world comes into the world that I feel something which is beyond me. Shows beyond time. Comes into time, into Bipnimis in the person in the gather of the world, which is Mokum Uzman. It's more than that. It's time itself, Chadoshim, is B'chol Yem. The Chiddush, which is Shinu, which is Gather Azman, because something didn't have before, and we got it now, becomes constant. Becomes the in Tmidi. That's the in of Seviv. So Mamale is Seviv. Not just Seviv comes b'pnimis in Mamale. Mamale itself comes together of Seviv. In order that should happen, for sure you need Kecha Atzmus. So a lot stronger the Yechibur Seviv and Mamale in this Eifen. Yeah? That's what they say.
Shinu is good nursing, the Shinu is not the Shinu.
Yeah.
Shinu is the Zman. The Shinu is Beitzach, not the Shinu.
Yeah. You said it strong. Yeah. It's not before. Yeah. Zman Guf is L'maylam and Azman, yeah. Zman is Shini, and that's L'maylam and Shini, yeah. L'maylam Azman. So that shows that the penetrated the Mamali, not just that came into the Mokam of Mamali, but Mamali itself is higher than Zman, is higher than Shinoim, higher than Zman. Fine. Says the Rebbe further, V'yeshleimar, further in Sivdal, second paragraph, this that we say that doing mitzvahs has to be in a way of mamish. No, it's not only in order that through this that a person does mitzvahs like it's a new thing. His doing of mitzvahs, taking mitzvahs is going to be with more livelihood. Also because this in of B'chol Yom Kadoshim is negated the doing of mitzvahs. Why? Ki'ina mitzvahs hu, what's the whole nekuda of mitzvahs is? Shal yodam na'is yichud kudsha bricho shchinte. Through doing a mitzvah, we're meyachid kudsha bricho shchinte. Yichud seiv mamalik. It says in Bratan Baruch Sentanya. Yichud and Kam became Chassidus. Yichud seiv mamalik. That's the whole nekuda of kiyum atayim mitzvahs. Yichud seiv mamalik. That's it says in the beginning of Samavovra in the beginning and in many places. That Shem yichud kudsha bricho shchinte. Yeah. Jeder Tag, einmal Tag, for the ganze Tag, yeah. So. If that's the whole concept of mitzvahs, the kiv and shavedas adam sursul asata, shayod the nicest am shocher sursul leila tzrichlis me'enam shocher. Since the avev of a person, which that's the sursul asata, which causes the sursul leila, has to be me'en the sursul leila. So we want to cause yichud seivim mali. So when a person does mitzvahs in such a way that it's b'chol yem is chadoshim, that zman itself is l'maylam ha'zman, chibur the zmanim l'maylam ha'zman, like you just explained in Yesh Lahesif. Through this, he causes an addition in revealing the fusion of Seivim Mamali, which he causes through the doing of mitzvahs. B'chlal doing a mitzvah is Yichud Seivim Mamali. Why? Because when you're doing a mitzvah, you're doing what the Eibishter wants. You're not doing what you want. You're doing what the Eibishter wants. It's like it says, the Rebbe brings in the Vustahadrin, Lamed Hey, that every mitzvah has chiv and shlili, yeah? You're doing the mitzvah, you're doing what the Eibishter wants, and you're not doing what the world is. It's also connected with Seivim and Mamali also, these two protim. In any case, the Nekul of a mitzvah is B'pashtis, God B'pashtis, doing what the Eibishter wants. Gilei HaSeiviv, what the Eibishter, Rotzen Elyon. And you're bringing it down into the world, in Mamali, in Welt. It says, Welt soll herren, and von Hecher from Welt. That's B'chal mitzvah. Now, if in the mitzvah guf I'm making a Yichud Seivim Mamali is a lot stronger than a Yichud Seivim Mamali, which is going to happen through the Gilei of Yichud Seivim Mamali, which happens through the mitzvahs. That's what the Rebbe is saying.
Mamali is a chiyuf in Soiv the Shlila.
Azay Yichab, this is the same word, yeah. Yeah. Hine, says the Rebbe Sif, hey, further. Shnei Inyonim, Seivim Mamali, Hem Shnei Hashem is the Avai Velikim. These two Inyonim of Seivim and Mamali are also the two shemas of the Eibishter, Avai and Elikim. Okay, before Bekama Mekame is, like it's explained in many places. The Shem Elikim who lay rak hamogim v'natik shemal mumaster alei the Shem Avaya. Shem Elikim is not only a guard, a shield which covers over the Shem Avaya, and it's only a mitzamtzim. Rather, el shagama eir the Shem Avaya k'mishin nimshach mitzamtzim adei Shem Elikim li'ismokel l'nivroim shebechol so eir mamal nikra Elikim. Even the aid of Shem Havai, the way it comes through Shem Elikim to become a source for creations, which that's Eina Mamali, which becomes a source to Nivraim, he relates to them, he comes according to them, according to what they could handle. That also is Nikra Elikim. The air guf is called Elikim. So Mamali is Elikim and Seiviv is Havai. This is the Agdom. Valpia, you do it now. Now he says, according to what's known, Zeh Shaguf Mailam al Nefesh Hu. Why is the guf hide over the Nefesh? The guf, when a person, you see someone, you see the nefesh, not necessarily, or necessarily not. So the reason for that is because the nefesh comes to Shem Havai, and the guf comes to Shem Elikim. L'chein, k'mei shelikim ma'alam al Havai, kein haguf ma'alam al nefesh. Just like Elikim hides over Shem Havai, Kelim will hide over the Eid, Mamali hides over Shem, save, he's going to say, Shleimar, it's just Elikim hides over Havai, and the guf is ma'alam al nefesh, so too the guf is ma'alam al nefesh. So this is the source why the guf is ma'alam over the nefesh, because the Elikim is ma'alam on Shem Havai. Shleimar, shal derech zeh hu gam be'inyin the save of Mamali. This is true also when they get to save of Mamali. The Shagam Eir Mamali, the Elikim canal. That also Eir Mamali, the aid of Mamali, not just the Kelim, not just the Shem Elikim, this just doesn't just refer to the Helam of Elikus. Also the Eir Mamali, which the Eir Mugbal is called Elikim. Shebechdei she'odem yeda v'yarge she'ikru inyone haneshama v'inyone guf imrak tafel, that a person should feel and know that the main thing is the neshama, and the whole, all bodily matters are a tafel. It's only through the fusion of Seivim and Mamali. Why? The Be'er HaMamali, K'meishum Mitzad Atzmei, Eir HaMamali on its own, Yesi Mokel Nivroyim, since it's a source for Nivroyim. Adar says in Chassidus that if a person lives in the Chudat HaTorah, in Das Tachten, he could fall into Yeshus. Why? Because Das Tachten says, Lamata Yesh, even though he knows Lamayla Ayin, that why is there Yesh only because of the Eibishter, but at the end of the day, the Eibishter is a Mokel for Nivroyim, the Eibishter is a Ayin HaMokel Mahavas HaYesh, Ayin Sheyesh HaNivra. So therefore, when Nivroim takes the Mokum Legabei, since it's a source for Nivroim, and the Nivroim means something to it, he's the Gaberim, have a Nivroim, Yesh Tfisas Mokum in Yon HaGuf. So therefore, at the end of the day, in Yon HaGuf have a Tfisas Mokum, there's something. So therefore, it's possible that what? That he should fall into the Yon HaGuf. But Vaidei, Yichud the Seivim Mamali. But if you make the fusion of Seivim Mamali, you connect Seivim, that in Mamal Zazachan Shagam, is that even there, which became a source to the world, should feel the Ein in Sof, which is higher than the worlds, the Kulaka make Klochshiv, that you realize, the person realizes that the reality is Kulaka make Klochshiv. The reality is that nothing besides the Eibush has a value. Through this, we come to recognition that the physical, the inyanim of the body is only for the neshama. When a person realizes that that nothing has a value, therefore he comes to recognition that the physical bodily matters is only to serve the neshama. It's not that there's a thing for itself which hates in yonei guf. The whole guf is only for the neshama. Why? Because he realizes there's nothing valuable other than the Eibishter. So if there's a body, it's only here for the neshama. Now understand what it says in the Tefda, that if a person doesn't have by him the concept of B'chol Yom Kachadoshim, that it's new. And why is it new? Because every day is new. And what does it mean? The B'chol Yom Kachadoshim is going to say. Like he said before, how does the person make the B'chol Yom Kachadoshim? Is only because that's the yin of Chibur Seva Mamali. And if a person doesn't have that, so then his bitterness and his enjoyment is going to be from worldly matters. Why? How does he have the yichud seva mamali, which that's causes that the worldly matters don't mean anything to him? It's dafka when a person does mitzvahs in a way b'cholim kachadoshim. Yeah, if your person is going to do mitzvahs in a way b'cholim kachadoshim, which means he's going to realize he's going to live in a way that mamali became saved. Mamali zman is l'mayla ma'azman, and herton is zman hecher von zman. So that's the taichi. He made the fusion of seva mamali in his aveda. That's going to be mamshich yichud seva mamali. If you have yichud seva mamali, then hertzachon in welt das is v'chal shtei v'smokim. So that's what he says. Yeah. One causes the other. Through before he says that through these bonus and nechim mitzav chayin that are nechis mitzav cho, then you can have cholim kachadoshim. But that causes that holy bonus and that aveda of having cholim kachadoshim is going to be mamshich yichud seva mamali. Like I said before in the end of it. But yeah, one needs the other, but one causes the other. How could you have that b'cholim kachadoshim if only through yichud seva mamali? But through the Aveda B'cholim Kadoshim, you're megala the inam say yichud seva mamali. Adnisht is yamut hamrin so tanks from yonel mazen, and then it's in b'mishpat what that from taste mokim. Go for taste mokim. If it's only mamali is mailam unsaviv. Even mamali, even eda mamali, not just the kalim, not just helam. Eda mamali, hertan alakus, erveis tagot. But the whole got was erveis is only the deibshus a mocker for ailments. That's yichud tato. That's tachten. He could fall into yeshus. He could think that the world is something. There's something to it. Because the Eibush is the Chaber Shefer, and this is holy, that he's Bashav's the Welt, and the Welt is Megal, the Keich of the Eibush to create. So there's something to the world. So he could fall into the world that it should be Taka Farchapt in Yonei Elam. Mashenkin, if he realized B'chol Yom Kachadoshim, which means that every day it's a new thing. Teda Mitzvahs is something new. There's something exciting in Teda Mitzvahs. It's mamish a new thing, which means that he made Yichud Seva Mamali in his life, in his personal life. That's causes that should be Gili of Seviv, and not just Tam Gila Seviv. Yichud Seva Mamali. So you should live b'pnimius with this inyan that the world is insignificant. Fine. Sivov. Pizay Shlavai Shaykh is the Golos to Shikhe. Now understand the connection of Golos to Shikhe. It says in the pasuk Mishkos of Lom Lo Netzach Tishkochenu. Why do you forget us for so long? For eternity. Ki Sibas Ashikhe. What does forgetfulness come from? It shows the knowledge they had earlier was a limited knowledge. Therefore, after a while, it stops. This is by a person. Same thing we understand in regard to the Eibish's remembering, the Eibish's forgetfulness. Where do we say remembering, that the Eibishter remembers? It's Zechreina is the name of remembering forever. Is in Seviv. The Kim show bleak vul, since it's bleak vul in Shachsham Hefsek. In Ashikho b'Malchus. Where's there the concept of forgetfulness? Kiviyachol is in Malchus. Why the Malchus is Sheish and Ivroim Mamali? Malchus is Sheish and Ivroim, which that's the name of Mamali. So over there is Shaykhin of forgetfulness. The Mela is Shaykhin of Golos. Therefore, when a person does Torah mitzvahs in such a way that b'chol yom is chadoshim, that it's a mamish, a new thing, he sees and it's b'chol yom chadoshim, it's constantly a new thing. Which this causes that the revelation of the Eira Bligvul should be even mugbal dekirinyan in chidush, in shini, in zman, should be in falamaylam azman, ein shaykh in ashikh. So it's not possible there should be a shikh l'mayla. He causes there shouldn't be enough goals. It's not shaykh there should be enough goals b'chol. When a person does mitzvahs in a limited way, he doesn't show that it's b'chol yom kadosh, that he doesn't live in a lamayla me'azman level. He's not living lamayla me'azman. It's in limited ways doing shos. That way, if he's doing it in a limited way, it's impossible. They should constantly have the same chayes. Like a person dies slowly, right? Why? Because he's mugbal. But if he connects himself to the built-in mugbal, they say a person never dies. The goof is never alive. The shaman never dies. So who dies? No one. Akaponim, so you say, is that good? Schaus, ist nicht richtig, was?
Die Goof ist...
Ist echt nicht richtig. Let's him lose. Yeah. Now he's going to say something. Chibur goof and shama, yeah. Schaus, das ist gesagt, Stama, der Chagav. Schaus, when a person does mitzvahs in a limited way, then the second, third time he doesn't have the same chayes he has in the first time, because it's a davar mugbal. Davar mugbal fades away. That causes when a person acts in such a way that he's limited the way of serving the Eibishter, he causes the Eibishter shouldn't be the revelation of Era Blikvul. And since it's not a revelation of the Era Blikvul and the Era Mugbul, only the Era Mugbul is Nimshach in the Welt. From this comes the union of forgetfulness. And it says another concept over here, another of goal, so to speak, what he says, besides of shikha, just like by a person, when he does their mitzvahs in a limited way, comes from that is pleasures from concept of this world, which this, to have geschmack in Welt. Even Taivas Heter, he's not doing a davar aser. He's eating a cookie, whatever, is also hepech hakdusha, if he has a geschmack in it, and he's doing it for the geschmack, not because he can't live without it. He's doing it for the geschmack. That's already hepech hakdusha, like it says in the beginning of Kundus Umayim. And he brings it from the Charedim, he brings it in Isa Deraisa, yeah. Al derech zeh ulamaylo, yeah. Al derech zeh ulamaylo, when a person lowers himself down to Tainag in Yon Eilom, that becomes this thing, he lowers himself down to hepech hakdusha, al derech zeh ulamaylo. The idea is zo seviv mistalik, if zo, which that's over here called zo seviv, that goes away. Kutchabrichu solik leila, he calls seviv kutchabrichu, and it's solik leila, it removes itself. Nisha raka malchus memale, and only malchus stays on its own. Zagerim yidid samalchus lahachas aklipis golos hashchina. This causes not just enough shikha, it causes a second thing. This causes the malchus should lower itself down to give chayis to klipis, which that's enough golos hashchina. So you have over here Zo. Why is Zo called Seviv? Vestis? Because even that's the chiluk of Midas and Malchus. Even though Malchus is the way the Eibusher relates to Zulas, for the Zulas. Mashenkin Zo, even Zo is the Midas. The Chutz already also relating to the worlds, also a source to the worlds. But it's the way he relates. He has a feeling. It's his definition, his description. It's about the person himself. At the end of the day, if you're saying in the person. Same thing, Lamailo, it's with the Eibishter is. The Eibishter is a chazdon, therefore he can make a world. If we would feel, if the world would be created without Malchus, would be only created from Midas of the Eibishter, what would we feel? We would feel that the Eibishter is so kind that it could even create a world. That this is the Eibishter's kindness. What are we? We're an expression of the Eibishter's kindness. It's not something, there's no world, there's the Eibishter's kindness. In order that the world should come to existence, that there should be a world that we see in it, a world for what it is, a limited world, an existence of a world which sees itself, that we're here, not the Eibishter's expression, so to speak. That's only through Malchus, that the Eibishter relates to Zulas, gives us his smoke to Zulas. Really, even that's not enough. You need the Parse, v'chulu v'chulu. I'm not going to go into that. But upon him, it said Malchus itself, he says that could cause, he needs some Malchus lahachis, klippus, that's like a person, if he forgets, if he doesn't have a chayis in Yonah Terem Mitzvahs, and he does it only in a limited way, so he comes, has a chayis in Yonah Eilom, so he causes by Lamayla, the Eibusher also should go down, the chayis of Kedusha should come down into klippus. Fine. Golos HaShechina. We'll go further or we have to run away? Further? Okay. This could be connected much closer to the Shabbos Chazon. Connect what it says in the Haftarah of this Shabbos. We say in the Haftarah, Yod Shekineo Chamir Evis Bolov, yeah. Gamer Yisrael Yod Amile is Benan. Pirush Harizal Sheim Arav Yemilu Shaleis. It says in the Haftarah, it says that the ox knows its master, But Jews didn't know, my nation did not think into the fact that who's their master. That is explained. This Maimon was said in Daldov. The Shei Koya Le'egel, Shos Erev Rav B'Midbar. Shei is referring to the calf that the Erev Rav made in the Midbar. And that's Yod Shei Kineu. How did the Shei come up? How did the Egel come out? That's through, they threw in the tas, the piece of metal which was written on it. Meisha wrote in it, Alei Shei, in order to bring up the Oren of Yosef. And he brought it, they put it into the fire. Out came the Shei the Egel. And the Rizal explains, the Betazah Yekosov Hashem Yud Lamed Yud Shem Hashem Ben Ein Shemes Ben Beis Shemes. In this tas, in this metal piece, was written the Shem Yud Lamed Yud Shehu HaMemun Al Kei Hashem Elin. He's the one appointed on the power of the Shem Elin, the Shem in the Merkava. Zeh Yoda Sher Kineu Gemer Yisrael Yoda. The shade itself knew that it's coming from from the source of the Memuna on the shade alien. But my nation didn't think about the fact they didn't think about it. But the Yidden didn't think about it, that where it's coming from. They thought that it's coming on its own, and therefore they served it. Zeh Shosh Tev Shel Yisrael Yod Ameli Yizbein Hu Yud Lamed Yud Olo Shel Yod V'Li Yizbein Hu Zeh Shol Asher Al Yidei Shem Yud Lamed Yud V'Lachin Omer Shalom Atzmei. This is what the Rosh Tevis of the words Yisrael Yod Ameli Yizbein is Yud Lamed Yud Olo Yali Olo. Why? To tell us that they didn't think into this itself, into the Rosh Tevis of these words. That how did they have Aliyas Asher was through the Shem Yud Lamed Yud, the Shem of the Eibishter, which gave it a keich that should be able to come into Tzir of Asher. And therefore they thought it was Olam Yatzmi. Shleimar, the Pirush Zeb Yisrael Yod Amli Yizbein Olim Tzchus Al Yisrael. This pshat in Yisrael Yod Amli Yizbein from the Rizal is a limit tzchus on the Yidden. Why? Shasibel Zeshto Achre Egel. That the reason why they made a mistake, they went after the Egel. Hois Mebnei Shlo Yizbein Binyonim Hashem Yud Lamed Yud Shalamaylam Eilom. That the reason why they made a mistake, they went after the Egels, because they didn't think about the inyanim of which are higher in the world, the Shem Yud Lamed Yud, I know, which means Shegamos of the Savaya. Even then, they served the Eibishter. They were serving the Eibishter, doing Torah mitzvahs. But since then it was before the commandment that B'chol Yem Yibenach Kachadoshim, Lachein Hois Avidosam B'Akbola. Therefore, they served the Eibishter in a limited way. Since they didn't have the tzivah that b'chol yem inach kachadosh, which means that that chadoshim should be b'chol yem, that zman should be l'mayla me'azman, that the gvul should be l'mayla me'akbola. They served the Eibishter in a limited way because they didn't have this commandment yet. Therefore, since they served the Eibishter in a limited fashion, what revealed themselves to them? Only a limited light, only a limited revelation. The way the Eibishter is a source to the world. This cause, since they weren't thinking about the source of the source, so to speak, the Shem Yud Lamed Yud, the Sheish of Sheir Elyon, hide in the world. Therefore, they made a mistake. They went after the Egel. That's what the limud schus of the Arizal on the Zeh Gam Shechet Egel Garmel Shviris Haluches. This is also why we find that the Chet Egel caused Shviris Haluches. Shadeiz and Nasa Afshar is Shikos HaTeira. We know that causes that we could forget. Teira could be forgetful. We could forget in Yonim and Teira. Which means that even after the Chet Egel, they still had a connection with Teira. But actually, it's only the learning Teira after the breaking of the Luchas is in a limited fashion. Therefore, it's possible that should have a hefsik. We should be forgetful about different things in Teira. Another thing happened. That also nations should be able to rule over them. If it says that if they wouldn't have a breaking of the first Luchas, it will be I'll take a chorus that they would be free from all the nations.
What is the limit schus?
The limit schus is that as them nicht gern angesagt auf them. The farm nicht gedacht reintrachten them. The farm sie gemacht machatos. Später in Sof in Boya Dormel in Parshas Dvorim. In Chumash Dvorim. Das ist gern gleich noch Yitzis Mitzrayim.
Gleich noch Mamat Metoyer noch gespielt der Zivo jetzt.
Noch nicht. Aber nein, es werden neue Schmeine, Mishnah Teire, Mesher bin gesagt, ja. So he says, I didn't know to you much loss lesbian kick. Shagilo lag kun some Malchus in smoking the Goals Canal. The relation is only from Malchus, which that's the Ved what sich gemont von sie. Therefore, there was Sheiches, there is really a Goals Canal.
Der Riesel sagt das, der Rebbe sagt das.
Der Rebbe lernt das als Liebes Chazavad, der Riesel sagt es nicht, dass das Liebes Chazavad. Der Riesel sagt sein Pshat, das ist in Israel Yoda. Ja. Ja, Schleima, das sagt der Rebbe, Schleima, Liebes Chazavad, ja. Okay, we're stopping here, we're going weiter. We could finish if you want, I don't know. It's up to you. I don't know what the hell darf gehen, darf kommen, darf gehen. Finish? People want to go. People have schedules. I don't know. I'm not going to keep people.
Okay, go, keep going.
Keep going? I'm going to press the gas. This is what it says. The ma hu shem avai. Ma hoyolonu. What's ma? Ma is shem avai b'mila alf and b'gematria ma. If you put shem avai yud ki vovke and yud vov daled, hey aleph vov aleph vov and hey aleph, it's b'gematria ma. V'lonu hu b'gematria likim. Lonu, the word lonu is 86. Is b'gematria likim with a hey, yeah. O pirush ma hoyolonu. What does it mean? Ma hoyolonu. Sha'avai nasa b'bchinas elikim. Havai came in the level of elikim. What does it mean? What does this mean? Shleima, the Inyan, that's the Tzemach Tzedek says. Havai became elikim. Whether Havai legabe hecher is a infernal elikim or elikim is yachad elikim. That's how you read it.
Also, Sikim Meilen, sei Rede. Wie sagt der Hemschich von
was der Rebbe sagt, okay.
Sei Rede. Mai, Oilon ist der von Eicho.
Ja, aber es da verschiedene.
Mal wie sagen,
da wird sagt dann infinite. Okay. Till test, okay. Okay. Wir schleimer die Mai Oilon bei wieder Sodom ho. Da vai lo Mailam Tev, lekim b'gematria Tev. What does it mean ma Oilon aved? Havaya shows higher than nature. Lekim is nature. Even when a person gets a atzlocha, a success higher than nature, he thinks it's nature. More than that, the Rebbe says, sometimes the fact that he had a success higher than nature, he thinks that caused him to think that it's his power, his energy that came and brought him to this state. Just like it was by the eagle. The fact that the shame Yud Lamed Yud caused that there should be Aliyas Hasher, which that's whole Indian is something which is beyond nature, caused them to think that this is something which is natural. This is something that which is natural. This is something that in Kech Sateva, in the world, you have to be machshavit. All the meatzmeistes. Shekechi veitzim yodi. Others over here the din megel. Yeah, the din megel that does the eigene zach. The egel itself has its own kech. Yeah. But eitzel is who? How does a person get out of this thing? That the mas shem avadin from the mile matav becomes teva is cheir avaye. Shavedet beven zikaron. The mile magbol which serve the Eibush in a way of zikaron remembering, which connect us of so much so to the inyanim of the mitzvahs. That we never forget it. It's Lamayl Magbol. Every day should be new. That it means Zman itself should be a constant. Should be Lamayl Mazman. Shai days there when a person serves the Eibush in such a way, is made a guild avayra save gam shalamayl mislapshis. Even the save which is higher than coming into the world is also made. Why? Because he's living on a plane of saviv. Gvul became Lamayl Magbol. Limitation became higher than limitation. So he has this union of avayah. Which that's the only of Shem Avaya is higher than Islabshis. Elikim is the Avaya which has been Slabish in Kalim, in Helam.
What's Zikon? What means Zikon?
To serve the Eibush beyond limitation. Does the touch as I don't stop serving. I serve the Eibush in such a way that I constantly serve in the same plane, the same way. It doesn't fade away. It doesn't become less and less. I'm always staying on the same level.
Zikon nimmt sich Blickbuch.
Ja, also das ist auch früher, ja.
Zikon nimmt sich Blickbuch.
Ich darf mal ganze verbringen und mal sagen, was das meint.
Was ist Zikon? Per Mamish, mein Bechol Yemenach Chadosh.
wie macht man das?
Oh, wie sie machen das? Hast du eine gute Scheile? Das darf man trachten, ein bisschen trachten. Was ist der Eibischte? Der Eibischte ist normal Mazman. Und der Eibischte ist normal Magbolle. Und das verbringen ein andermal. Das ist aufteitschen, ja, ja.
Mach Schmul, wir machen verbringen normal.
Yeah, right after. Yes, the kasha is in Pish of Hashem to Apostle. The Mahayalonu Gili Amad an Neshama. This connect with the Pshat of the Baal Shem to this Shinam al Yusi, yeah. And Mahayalonu is the revelation of the Ma of the Neshama. Ma, the level of Ma, the bitl of the Etzem Neshama, Kiman, the Neshama, Etzem Neshama Shalom Ma'alim Mislapshes, Shekshurim Avai Shalom Ma'alim Mislapshes Be'ilom. By days that Boim Laveda Deschei, when a person connects his Etzem Neshama, which is higher than coming into his goof, it's higher than limitations of his body, the limitations of his keches even, which is connected with Havai, which is higher than coming into the world. When a person connects, it reveals his Etzem Neshama is ched. We remember the Eibishter, we serve the Eibishter beyond limitation. That's the ched Havai. When is going to be ched Havai? Or is ched and Havai? Because that's when the Neshama is revealed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna finish this and what are we gonna do next?
Finish this one next week.
Yeah.
It's Hashem. We can learn Lo Yoyam Tel Yisrael.
What's the